This is the runway that we're building here at the school in Guatemala. Cornelio had cut this with the tractor last year. It had been overgrown with brush. Quite a few years ago, this runway had been cut out of the jungle, but there were stumps and the ground was not leveled or smoothed out, and so it never could be used. It never was certified as a runway. And so it was left and the brush grew up, and Cornelio cut it last year, and Rubin just cut this again yesterday. From here to the other end is about 800 something meters, or 2,700 feet or so. You can see this is what it looked like when Cornelio cut it. You can see here I've walked partially down the area where Rubin had cut yesterday. Here I'm at the other end of the part of the runway that Rubin cut yesterday, and here, this part of the runway is what Cornelio had cut with the cut the brush down with the tractor, and then he took the disc on the tractor and disced this area. Then he took a chain and dragged a very large log over this to smooth it out. And this is about 300 meters or so long, just about a little under 1,000-foot strip, but you can see the trees down on that end are very tall. I've made low passes on this stretch of the runway, and that is the south end down there, and the wind is usually coming from the north, so you're approaching over those trees most of the time. And you could probably land with an empty airplane, but it leaves no real margin for error. It would probably be hazardous to attempt to land and take off on this runway. So the civil aviation inspector said for the runway to be certified, we need to cut down some of those trees on that end of the runway and cut some of the trees on the sides of the runway that are like those trees right there that are reaching for the sun out over the runway, and extend the runway a minimum of 200 meters to the north. So this project is moving along. To the north, we'll probably burn it and disc it and drag the log over it, and then there's also parts where the dirt will have to be moved with the backhoe in order to get it smoothed out like this. But this will be very handy having the airplane here where we live, because there's really nothing at the airport. They don't even have electricity at the airport, and so to work out there we'd have to drag our tools out there, air compressor, generator, drag it out there, and there's nowhere to store it out there, so we have to drag it all the way back here. And so you spend most of your time just setting up to work and packing up and going home, and so you spend a lot of time and don't get much work done. And so we could have the airplane here, and that would save a lot of time and make things a lot more efficient.